Hello, it's your boy Justin. Uh, Welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host. We're on our ninth day of Halloween month. Today I'm reviewing Ghost Rider Danny Ketch Classic, which collects issues 1 through 10 of Ghost Rider, written by Howard Mackie, drawn by Javier, Saltares, and Mark Texeira, if I'm pronouncing that right. This goes around it's about like $30. So the story is basically, by the way, I'm pretty sure this inspired the Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Which, if you didn't like that movie, you're probably not gonna like this unless you like 90s and 80s comics. So the story here is you have this 18-year-old kid who's kind of beta. Go to the cemetery with his sister on a dare or whatever. His sister's a lot braver than him. They go to the cemetery on Halloween's Eve on a dare for some. You never know. Actually, you never know why exactly. Or did I miss that? Whatever. They go there. There's a gang of kids called the Cypress Hill Jokers that are also there. They all witness a deal go wrong between Death Watch, who's this super villain who can read the minds of others by touching them, but it's like super painful. He has the hand ninja henchmen, and they're trying to steal these canisters from the Kingpin's men, who want to get rid of the gas canisters because they're gonna be used for like a chemical attack on New York, and Kingpin wants to avoid that. So what happens is the people, the bad guys, notice the kids. Danny, our main character, sister gets shot with an arrow. He takes her and hides her somewhere, and finds this motorcycle. The cap is glowing. He touches it. He becomes the new Ghost Rider, because I guess something happened to the old Ghost Rider. They never tell you. Becomes the new Ghost Rider. He beats up the bad guys, and the first arc is basically Ghost Rider versus the Hand and the Kingpin's henchmen. Have this battle royale. They're all trying to find the gas canisters because the Cypress Hill Jokers find it, think it's drugs or money. When they realize it's not drugs or money, instead of taking it to police, they have the brilliant idea to hide him in the cemetery, which is Cypress Hill Cemetery in New York, just so you know. And what happens is they get chased by these factions. Some of them get killed. Death Watch, one of his henchmen is Blackout, which Blackout here, he has his Blackout powers, which is he can make it appear like all the lights are off and everything's dark. Here he's LARPing as a vampire. He can't be out in the daylight. The narrator mentioned he has mechanical fangs that he uses a lot to kill people. We never find out if he's an actual vampire or he's just LARPing as one. I personally think he's just a mutant or something, though he kills a mutant and I don't know if it's implied that he's not a mutant or something, because he kills the mutant and he's like, this is my first time tasting mutant blood or whatever. So I don't know if that could mean that he's not a mutant or he is a mutant. Who knows? But he's definitely not a vampire because he doesn't have the regeneration that the vampires have. I'm pretty sure the vampires in the Marvel universe can regenerate, but I'm basing that off Blade. So, which I never actually read the Blade comics. I've only watched the movies and the anime and that TV series. But yeah, so I would say the first arc is good, and then it goes into, you get a team up with Punisher, where they're going up. Him and Ghost Rider team up against these anarchist supervillains. The anarchist supervillain is called Flag Smasher, who is who's giving guns to kids all over New York. So like uh, so one day he could have them all together and um, attack the Federal Reserve, which is maybe hand out the guns to the kids when you're actually going to plan your attack. Don't do that beforehand while you're drawing attention to yourself, retard, but whatever. So those two issues are, I don't know, I like them. They kind of remind me of Antifa, honestly. Because there's a lot of talk of, oh, the rich are keeping you down, blah blah blah. Yeah, they make the poor look bad in this book, I should mention, and make the rich people look good, I guess, the yuppies. Though there are some left-wing-ish shit in here, but not too much. You also get issues where like Ghost Rider fights Hyde, who's basically the Jekyll and Hyde character. Though he has, like, they mentioned that his powers don't work very well. He can't turn into Hyde very well because he got, like, I don't know, hit in the head by I think they mentioned Captain America, which there's also another Captain America villain in here apparently called the Scarecrow, which is pretty much Scarecrow from DC Comics, but he's a contortionist and he can control crows. I thought he was okay. And then there's the second arc, or there's the last arc in the book where like Blackout is killing people close to Danny. He finds out his secret identity. Sorry I'm spoiling the whole book, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, I need something to talk about. Yeah, like, well, because it's going to lead to criticisms. So it's like, he finds out Danny's secret identity. He's killing people close to Danny. You get this stupid, like, crossover with X Factor, which is basically the original X-Men lineup. Cyclops, Marvel Girl, which is Jean Grey, Beast, and Iceman. Which on the cover they show Archangel, but Archangel isn't in the issue, which is weird. And then you find out who's been kidnapping. Did I mention there's also storyline throughout the books that somebody has been kidnapping kids? And you find out who's been kidnapping the kids, and it turns out it's these group of mutants that have been experimented on by this villain called Mask. Who the whole reason they kidnap the kids is to protect them from Mask, because he's gonna kidnap them and experiment on them. Which it makes a lot more sense to just, either tell the police or tell any of the fucking superheroes, of the numerous superheroes that live in New York. Because we got Punisher, we got the Avengers, we got Spider-Man. We got Darkhawk also, which I'm pretty sure he premiered in 1990, that issue takes place in 1990. Is White Tiger still a thing? I don't know. There's Daredevil also. So yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really stupid. Like, what was your plan? To keep the kids forever while kidnapping more kids? Until, like, your problems just magically get solved by themselves? I have no idea. I thought that was stupid. But yeah, in the X Factor, and Ghost Rider crossover, they hardly interact with each other. And I should mention that, like, Ghost Rider is not as powerful as he is in the in the movies. Though he does appear to be, like it appears like he can't be killed, because like bullets do nothing against him. He can take a lot of punishment. So yeah, So now I should go to my critiques and my the positives. I don't know. The negatives are. I'll start with the negatives. The negatives are. Oh, by the way, it's a little lefty in here. There's a lot. There's some leftist shit in here, but not too much to trigger right wingers. I don't think. Yeah. So like I don't know. The negatives are. I do not. The Ghost Rider is a little stereotypical. He says a lot of cliche shit. Like he repeats the same lines over and over again. The dialogue is not the greatest, though I do think some of the storylines I think are pretty good. The arcs. At one point I thought fucking not Deadpool, Bullseye was here, but it turned out to just be like a random Kingpin henchman, which the Kingpin's actually not a villain here. He's actually he's like a good guy in here, which is, you know, it's nice to see that side of him. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I would say what action there is good. There's a lot of contradictory lines. Like he clearly, like Ghost Rider clearly looks like he's killing people. Though like there's a random line where Danny says like, "Oh, Ghost Rider doesn't kill people," right? But even though it totally looks like he is, like earlier there's an issue where like Ghost Rider has spikes on his fist, right? You see him punch a dude in the face really hard, and blood. There's a huge blood splatter, right? That would totally kill a guy, but apparently he doesn't kill people, even though it totally looks like it. There's the Barb, his sister, who is in the hospital. There's lots of times where her hair color changes. Like it's originally blonde and then it changes to either brown or red. There is that annoying subplot where like he's dating a girlfriend and like and he's like that cliche fucking subplot where it's like, do I tell her who I am and or what? Like that's annoying. Though he's handling her a lot better than what's his name from Darkhawk. I totally forgot that. What was his name? Last name Powell or something? I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know. It's the thing. If you like old comics, like 80s and 90s comics, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a little better than the average, and it's pretty dark at times. I forgot to mention that if you don't like dogs getting killed, and if you don't like kids getting killed, both dogs and kids get killed in here. Even a fucking baby gets killed, which is fucked up in my opinion. And the dog they killed was a seeing eye dog, which, if you didn't know, only 1 in maybe 1,000 dogs that get trained to be, service animals make it. So like 1 in 1,000. So really fucked up that one character killed a seeing eye dog. The art I think is decent for the era. There's lots of action. I hate the dialogue. There's this stupid all-female mercenary group called Heart that are against racial terrorism, but they don't really seem to go after. That's what it's said when they describe themselves. They get hired by the neighborhood to fight crime, but they seem to only be after Ghost Rider. Which here, that's the thing. Ghost Rider's been a thing since the 60s, but they act like nobody knows who Ghost Rider is, which is a little annoying to me. You do get this cool like cliffhanger at the end where it seems like Johnny Blaze is after Ghost Rider. Or at least it's somebody that looks like Johnny Blaze. I have no idea. I don't know. If I had to give this rating, I would say it's a 6 out of 10 at best. Maybe if you liked, like, I think though, like, if you're trying to get into Ghost Rider in stores, you either get this or Daniel Wayne.